Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Scooter Wolf, and today we're going to do a unboxing of my newest camera. Just got it in preparation for my trip to New Hampshire. So, without further ado, let's reveal what we have. SD card, of course, useless packaging, receipt, and the moment we've all been waiting for. I have purchased a Drift Ghost XL Pro action camera. So this is new. I actually have been using the Drift camera, the Drift Ghost S, which is no longer sort of produced anymore, unfortunately, because I think it's a really good camera. So good that I think all the other models that have come afterwards, which I think what they did is that the Ghost S was such a good camera that they kind of watered it down and broke it up into different kind of cameras. And those were the newer brands that they followed with, but nothing really worked, in my opinion. It would only go so far, you know, it wasn't really full 2K or 4K, or if it was, you know, doing it 1080p, maybe it couldn't do it at 60 frames per second. You'd have to have it at like 70-20. It really wasn't great. Nothing that made me think like, oh, let me get the next model that's coming up. That's something really different. So they even had a 4K version of the Ghost, but that had its own set of problems, mainly with the sound. I think there were like two cables that came out. It was really weird. It was, you know, just from what I was hearing, it just really wasn't all that good. So I held off. And actually I've been using my Ghost S for about 5 years. It's a very rugged camera. It's been through a lot. It's been my sort of main helmet camera and the one that I do all my audio recording on. So it took a while and it took a lot before I was convinced that, hey, this new model could be something that I should look at. And sort of that's what's happened. And so now I have it here. The Ghost XL Pro. Don't really need this anymore. So let's take a look at what we have inside. All right. Can't get any more of a reveal than this. Straight out of the packaging. Okay, so really nice box. I got one more little something piece of tape here. I think that's holding in the last stages that allows you to open it up. Here we go. Okay. Take that away. All right, so we've got a really nice box here. Let's see. How do we open it up? And there it is. Nice packaging. All right, put that aside. And there we have our camera. Ghost XL Pro. Very nice. It's a little smaller than I thought it would be. Let's see about getting it out. So this piece comes up. Put that aside. You can see that it's interesting. So the mounting clip is already mounted on here, which is really nice. I have a bunch of these, but you can never have too many. So I'm guessing that I would just have to loosen it up. Give me a second. And there we have it. All right. So, very sort of ergonomically designed. This is one of the reasons why I went with the Drift as opposed to the top camera in the industry preferred by motovloggers, which is the GoPro. And they make really good cameras. I have a GoProMaX, which I use on my dashboard, my handlebars, to frame me as I'm riding, because I think it's just an amazing camera. I have the option on it to go 360 degrees. Mainly I've been putting it in hero mode, which is fine. but because of all the audio problems that are associated with the GoPro, especially you've got, you know, all these adapters you got to use, you've got to retrofit the fittings and stuff. So the GoPros aren't really made for motovloggers. Maybe if you're, I don't know, you're on a surfboard or snowmobile or something, you're not really recording the audio, you want the visuals. I think that's what they're going for. So I wanted something that was less of a problem. And the drift cameras are, again, they're really ergonomically designed. They're not made to go, you know, on the front, usually in the chin. If you want, you could mount it on the top of your helmet in a way, because what's really nice about these is that the lens rotates. And that's something that's going to be a deciding factor in terms of how I'm going to do things here. This lens, if I'm not mistaken, can rotate at least 300 degrees as opposed to 360 degrees. I don't need it to do it that much. In my case here, for the problem that I think I'm going to try and solve, it can rotate 180 degrees. I'm good. So it has these buttons here. On the top, there are 3 buttons, probably for power, usually going through your different menus. This one might be for sound, and this one is probably also for recording. We have an indicator light here, which probably, if it's going to change colors, it'll tell you which particular mode you're in, whether you're recording video, whether you're taking pictures, whether you're doing time-lapse, photo burst, maybe dash cam. Again, I have to look at the instructions, which also are in here. Let me remove this secondary box here. And I have a feeling these are my, yes, additional accessories that are going to go along with the camera. Very important. Put that aside for now. Okay. And we do have a quick guide, user manual. So I'll go through this and just see how to operate this. But I have a feeling it's not too far from what I've been using with my Ghost S, which is really nice. So, okay, so yes, we've got the 3 buttons here, very, very rugged. So one of the main things about this camera is that it is waterproof. And so that if I'm out, I'm not really going to go swimming in it, but if I'm caught in the rain, caught in the snow, you should be good. On the back side here, we have this little plug. I'm going to have to get a screwdriver of some sort. That if you remove it, this is the port in which you can plug in your audio cable. And then here, looks like, I open this up, as you can see, I have a slot for my SD card and my USB-C plug. What's good about this is that it has a set battery, and it has a battery life depending on what kind of shooting mode you're in, but it can go up to 7 hours. That's, for me, pretty amazing. Now, I also got a 128 gigabyte SD card because, you know, I don't know if this can take 7 hours worth if I'm at 1080p. Perhaps if I'm at 2K, which I'm really thinking about shooting at, maybe not. Definitely probably not at 4K. The battery life probably won't last 7 hours when you get up to those types of resolutions as well, but it's good to have that option. And so simply when battery is out, you recharge it. One thing that I think is, you know, a little disappointing for me is that this is my only view screen, as opposed to my Ghost S. It has a larger panel here, which will give me a live view of what I'm seeing, and I can go through all my different menu items. So I'd have to use this. My eyesight is not as good as it used to be, and so seeing something on such a small screen is going to be kind of a pain. So what I'm probably going to do is download the, I believe it's the Drift Life app that allows you to remotely pair with your camera and then go through all your different sort of settings and then remotely set it that way. So that's probably the best thing for me to do. But I also kind of wanted to do a comparison between the XL Pro versus my Drift Ghost S. And you can see there is a difference, all right? They are, different sizes. This is, as you can see, there's the screen much bigger compared to this, but this has got a lot more in it in terms of the technology, in terms of the quality and everything on it. On the back here, I have these little sort of rubber, stops, if you will. This is for plugging in my charging cable, and this is for putting in my audio cable. And I can unscrew this if need be. And in here I can access my SD card and take out my battery if I so choose. So here's my battery. I can't do that with the XL Pro, which is fine because, like I said, it's got a 7-hour battery, and that's good. So as long as that battery and the camera are in good shape, I'm in good shape. One can say I'm putting all of my eggs in one basket with this, but I think, like I said, it's designed really well. And it's rugged, it's smaller, so that's going to be, a plus side to it. So some of the problems that I have heard that you may encounter with this camera if you're deciding to use it is with the audio cable. The audio cable is going to be plugged in on the bottom. As I said, here, there's a little bit of a plug, and you remove it where on my Ghost, I have these little sort of rubber stopper flaps that are connected to the camera. The rubber stop comes out. This is a tiny little thing. I can guarantee this will be the first thing you're going to lose, especially if you are, taking your plug out and putting the, the cable in, and you're out there in the field. You're on the side of the road, you're in a grassy area, and you drop it. It's really tiny, so good luck in finding it. So I'm a little afraid of this particular thing. More than likely, and this is what I suggest, is that, if you remove this, put it into the, little baggie that they give you, your home, your office, wherever you are staying, a hotel room or whatever the case might be, put it in there. Don't go out in the field with it. Just make sure it's safe there, and just deal with the plug in here usually all the time whenever you can do it. And speaking of the plugs of the cables, let's look at what we have here. Okay, so this is my audio cable, which connects to a USB plug here, as you can see. And this is what I'm going to use. I can plug it into the audio port to charge the camera, which is actually kind of cool and interesting. I then have a USB-C, USB cable here, and this is for transferring whatever I have in here on my SD card to my laptop, to a computer, whatever the case might be. So I have that as well. Last but not least, this is the big thing here. This is my audio adapter. All right, so I'm going to plug that into here, and I have a drift audio cable, so it should be compatible with this. Plug it into there. But one of the problems is that when I plug it in, all right, it's plugging in from the bottom, and it sticks out, and then it goes over, So let's say I have this on, the side of my helmet, and I have it plugged in like this. Well, I've heard people talk about that, the cable and the plug will hit your shoulder. And especially if you're, doing head turns, shoulder checks, whatever the case might be while you're riding, and it hits it, it could move the camera, it could jostle it, who knows what it could do, it could loosen it, it can damage it. That's not, something that I really want to have to deal with. Anyway, we'll see. Hopefully that's not going to be too much of a trick to deal with here. Tomorrow I'm going to do a ride into Philadelphia, and going to like an alumni barbecue from my alma mater. And I'm going to mount the new camera on my helmet and give it a try, and we'll see what it is. I'll let you know if there is a problem with the audio plug getting away with my shoulder, if I can figure out a way to fix it, or my suggestion. I really don't want to have to remount because they're giving you these, you know, adhesive mounting brackets. One is slightly curved, so it'll be ideal for mounting onto your side of your helmet. This one has a little bit of a curve to it, if you will. The other one is flat, and that's just for more of a flat surface, probably in your car. I can't remember exactly what this is. I think it might have to do with the lens, but I will take a look at the user guide to figure out exactly what that is. I did download some of the specs for the camera, and take a look at what we've got here. So yes, your file format, H.2.64 or MP4, your lens type 140-degree wide angle. You do have Bluetooth, so built-in remote control capability. There is a remote control sort of watch wrist that you, wristwatch, I guess you can put on. I have one of those for my Ghost S, and it never really worked. It was a real pain in the ass trying to figure out how to get it to activate and everything. But, you know, while you're riding and you're fiddling with this thing, then you're in danger. So I decided not to deal with it. I usually just got used to actually just clicking the camera on or off while I'm riding. It was a little bit easier to do that. Your SD card, what I got was a SanDisk Ultra Plus or a micro SD XC card. You can go on to the Drift website and check what kind of SD cards if they suggest. And again, I got something that's pretty big, 128 gigabytes. It's waterproof, and for Wi-Fi, 2.4/5.8 gigs. Resolution, we can go up to 4K, as I said, at 30 frames per second, or 2.7K at 60 frames per second, which is probably what I'm going to be trying to do. It does have stabilization. I don't know if I'm going to need the stabilization. Hippo-Drones, another moto vlogger, and I highly suggest you guys check out his channel. It's great. Also did his own sort of Drift XL Pro unboxing, which is really good. You know, if you're not getting what you want from this one, definitely check out his. But he talked about stabilization, and that when you're using it, it tends to take away the intensity of how fast you're riding. But I've never really needed stabilization because it's on my helmet. And the Drift Ghost S, this one, you know, doesn't have any stabilization, and I felt it never needed. If you're putting it on your bike, probably. But I think on your helmet, you should be good. So I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about stabilization. We'll see how that is. We do have time lapse. It's high quality and low light performance. It does have, again, the rear LCD screen. But again, you know, if you're like me and your eyes aren't that great, especially I can't wear my glasses under my helmet. So if I'm out there in the field, I'm off, you know, getting ready to set this stuff up, I can't really see what the settings are. But more so, like, you know, if I've got it on my helmet, I can't see it anyway. So I might want to have my my iPad and you know, just look at that, program it to work there, and I'm good to go. So this is exciting. This is, again, a sort of another sort of attempt on my part to, you know, raise my game, to get some really good equipment. I've been using, you know, my Ghost S for like 5 years, and don't get me wrong, I still love this camera. I really have no interest in throwing it out and getting rid of it. Sometimes when my wife and I ride, She might have this on her helmet, and I might just rely on the camera on my dashboard to get me. But now maybe both of us can have these cameras on, or she can maybe use the XL Pro, and again I'll use some other cameras on the dashboard or 360, whatever the case might be. So yes, I'm not going to get rid of this because I think it's still a really good camera, and I like some of the features that are on it, so I have no complaints regarding that. But yeah, I'm excited. We're going to see where we're going to go, what we're going to do. Hopefully I will be all set for my trip to New Hampshire, which I'm going to be leaving this Sunday, today being Tuesday. So I've got some things I still need to prep for, to get ready for it, but I am almost there. So as always, leave any comments, any questions. I will do my best to get back to you. I'll probably have a follow-up video, especially after my first ride shooting with this, to see how it is. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about the particular stats and the quality of the footage versus that of the Ghost S. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.